Hello and welcome to Opinions Plus. I know Mr. Trump and his cronies are trying to scare everybody with nuclear war issues. There isn't going to be a World War III nuclear war. Now, I don't have the intel. There's nobody briefing me. But just look around. People are scared of nuclear war. When I was a kid, we had drills, jump under the desk, and all that stuff. Eisenhower, hero of World War II, president, couldn't contain the fear. People were building bombshells or bomb shelters and all these things. It was just the rage at the time. But fear, and it affected me. How? I don't know. But you can't get away from it affecting your situation, your fears. You're just watching Red Skelton on television. Well, those who remember Red Skelton. And at the same time, watching this clown on television make fun of everything. But they didn't talk about nuclear war like they do today. You don't have comedians on television talking about these things or whatever. There was a distance between what was going on politically and what was your everyday life. Today, it's not so. Internet's just chock full of hate and fear mongering and all this other stuff. I'm just here to say that nuclear war is one of the stupidest things anybody can do. We spent billions and billions of dollars beefing up the nuclear armament in the United States, and the Russians did the same, and now you've got France and England and Israel and Pakistan and India and China all have nukes. Is somebody going to let a nuke out and blow something up somewhere, somehow? I guess so, because people are stupid. They'll do stupid things. Leaders, they're not elevated. They're not, endowed with this tremendous brain power that people like to give them. They're just people. They might have some intellectual abilities over and above others. They might have a drive and charisma and things like that, which elevate them to a leadership role. But they're just people. No more, no less. They put their pants on the same way. They take a bath and shower the same way everybody else does. And they're still, right. When you look at our own selves, where we have fears, we have anger, we have resentment, we have all these things. Well, so do these people. But they also have advisors, and they also have people to talk to them and discuss the issues, where we discuss it within ourselves or a limited group of pretty much, the same kind of people that don't have access to the information. Russia will never, ever, go full blast nuclear war. It's just insane to do it. Now, that being said, if people become insane themselves, who knows what they could do? But until they reach that level of insanity, they would not do that. They just will not do that. Because it destroys the bloody world. And then you've got nothing. All you've got is your little attitude that, you may have survived in the bomb shelter, but that's about it. You got nothing on the outside, and all your luxuries and everything else are wiped out. Everything is wiped out. The world goes into nuclear winter. It's just wrong. It won't happen. And Trump using this stuff to scare you, to scare me, to scare anybody, is wrong in itself. No responsible person will do such a thing. You have to be aware. just as the leaders and Biden and all that, like why hasn't he, just given Ukraine everything it needed to retaliate against Russia? I don't know. I'll never know. But it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people. But there is a fear that Russia would use tactical, limited nuclear war or nuclear weapons and blow up a small-sized city or something to show their, determination to do anything possible. Create the red lines that everybody talks about. But that would be limited. It would go no farther because it destroys, just like a major war would destroy that area for hundreds and hundreds of years, just like the Chernobyl thing. It happens. It happens in peace as Chernobyl, and it happens in war with limited tactical nuclear war, nuclear weapons. But it is not World War III. Russia can't even beat the Ukraine. They cannot go against the world. It's just not possible. They're limited. Their economy is breaking up as we speak. That's just the facts. There are people that say, it's the strongest that, It's an internal economy based on its own resources. War, it's a war level operation that just focuses on production of war equipment and all that, which gives people jobs and opportunities and money. But the money goes, inflation's at a high rate. Interest rates in Russia are at a high rate. Their bonds are not worthwhile. They can't even trade the ruble decently on the world market anymore. Their whole access to the world economy is drifted apart, very, very limited. They still send gas through the Ukraine, for crying out loud. It's upside down the whole world is. And the Ukraine lets them do it because they get some of their gas too from there. But it's all crazy. It's not insane, but it's crazy. It's just not normal when you start to think about how these things work together. So Russia is not going to use or the world is not going to go into a nuclear war status. It's just wrong to think it. And to use it as a campaign gimmick is even worse. All you're doing is, chucking up or stoking up the fears, the hate, the anxiety, just because. And then to say he's the only one who can overcome all things and make everything wonderful and beautiful as if he did it before. He did not. He screwed up the COVID thing. So many people died. Were they going to die? If somebody else was in power? Probably. Not that many. Not if you took, action. But the whole system was against it. No masks, no vaccines, no this, no that. Everything was against. It's just unknown. What are we going to do? Got vaccines over the years, and people used them. But then, same with nuclear war. Nobody knows anything about it. But once it happens, it's done deal. And it's not going to happen. Nobody, unless someone reaches a level of insanity, it is not going to happen. And then the other countries, again, you can take out Russia 6, 8, 10 times with the weaponry that's available in Britain and France and the United States, everywhere. North Korea's got, some nuclear weapons, and yet they might use it. They use the fear of it, but they don't know how to use it. They're such a berserko country anyway that, and then to drum up the fears in these campaigns based on neurotic and egotistical and arrogant people like Putin and Kim Jong-un. I mean, it's just wrong. So don't worry. Don't worry about that. There's a lot to worry about. But don't worry about World War III, even though Trump talks about it. Trump just uses it as a blowhard tactic. It is not going to happen. There may be some nuclear explosions as Putin gets his back up against the wall, can't think of anything else to do, and may shoot a weapon and see what happens. Let's see what they're going to do. But that'll be limited, very limited, and then people are just going to get just over the fence, over the wall, take them out. They're not going to hang back because you can't. You can't allow that. Anyway, I know it's not a complete explanation, but I just want to, say that do not worry. Not about World War III, regardless of what that Trump guy says on the campaign trail. Do not worry about World War III. It is not going to happen. There may be limited war. Yes, there is one already in Ukraine and Russia and Israel and Hamas and all that stuff. It's happening. It does happen all the bloody time. It doesn't stop. And he had wars under Trump were still there. Violence under Trump was still. He's not a magician by any means. Whoever thinks that, they think that. But there's no reason to think that. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. And if you like what you hear, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Pass it on to someone else if you think it has value. But remember, go to the good. Keep hope alive. Always. Always go to the good. Character matters. Character matters. Not fear-mongering, not hatred. Character. You don't have to listen to the joy thing and say, oh, well, everything is beautiful and wonderful. It's just hard work to become a better society, a better world. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.